Before we jump into today's video, I want to give a quick shout out to our channel sponsor, Many Realms. If you're looking for Magic the Gathering and Magic the Gathering related supplies, be sure to check out ManyRealms.com. I'll post a link to their website in the video description, so be sure to go check them out. What is up, everyone? How's everyone doing out there today? Welcome back to Wildcat MTG. Today we are back with another Edge of Eternities Collector box battle. How this thing is going to work is we have 4 participants. We're going to open this thing up. Each one of them is going to get 3 packs. We're going to open those packs in rounds of 3, adding up the mana values for all the rares and all the mythics. And at the end of this thing, the person with the highest total mana value and the person with the lowest total mana value amongst rares and mythics are each going to get one additional Edge of Eternities Collector pack to go along with their spoils. In the event of a tie, we'll take the highest mana value mythic as the first tiebreaker, the highest mana value rare as the second tiebreaker, and if we need a third tiebreaker, we will go down the line with the highest mana value rare until we have a tie, no more. Edge of Eternities. Kind of a banger, huh? A little bit of a surprise banger. Like, the set's been really good. I've actually now had a chance to play it in Limited multiple times. I've enjoyed the Limited experience. It's, I think it's a kind of a skill-intensive Limited experience. Like, there's a lot of decisions and sequencing to do, which is cool. I've enjoyed it. And the set itself, I mean, we knew it had Shocklands, but a lot of other really good stuff too. And it feels like it is going to have some impact on Constructed as well. All right, here we go. 3 for Future, 3 for Angie, 3 for Red Leader, and last but not least, 3 for Justin B. Good luck, everyone. Let's have some fun. Hopefully pull some juicy stuff along the way. Future, start us off. Okay, we will largely skip past the commons and uncommons. Those are pretty much a known at this point. Get right to the good stuff. Okay, so start off with our borderless foil basic. Starting off with a Terminal Velocity, that is a 6 mana value. These tend to be these battles. We've done one other so far. It was really low mana value because one of your slots is an all-land slot, which just means no mana value. So we'll see where this takes us. We start off with a 6. Next up, we have Scouring Swarm, which is a 3 from that commander slot. Into the Extinguisher Battleship. This is not a low mana value pack. That's an 8 right there in the extended art. Followed by a Cathedral of War. Pretty cool. And that is in that... wow, that's really nice looking. Oh, very cool. Cathedral of War. Okay. And we start pack 1, Mythic 1. That is a borderless foil Susur Sukundi Void Altar, which is the Mythic Black Planet land. Pretty nice hit there. Borderless foil. And, well... so interesting. It was a high mana value pack, but the last 2 cards in that pack were lands. So we have ourselves an 8 plus 6, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's still pretty high mana value from what we've seen. 8, 6, 14, 15, 16, 17 it is. And we will throw our Mythic land on top. That Cathedral War looks really cool. I like the art on that. All right. Angie, it is your turn. Oh my gosh, these packs continue to give me issues. There we go. Last box was kind of a banger, so a lot to live up to from that last box. The last box brought us some really good goodies. Okay. Borderless Plains, foil plains, non-galaxy foil. The Eternity Elevator, nice. Pack foil Eternity Elevator, that is a 5. Into a land. Yep, a lot of lands at the commander slot as well. So that's also bringing these mana values down. That is a 0. Followed by a Weapons Manufacturing, pretty cool. That is a 2. Followed by a Swarm Yard. Non-foil Stellar Sights Swarm Yard. And then Sacred Foundry in the back. That is a borderless foil. Borderless foil Sacred Foundry. For as good as last box was, and there's not a lot to complain about, it did only have 1 of the Shocklands in it. So, and here we are. We have 3 lands in this box, which means we have 5, 6, 7 mana value in total. But a borderless foil Sacred Foundry, not the worst place to be there. Not the worst. All right, Red Leader, it is to you. All right. Go. we go. Okay, first up is our foil swamp. No galaxy foils in that slot so far. Usually about three or four per box. Start off with an Entropic Battle Cruiser. That is a 4 pack foil. Followed by a Moxite Refinery in the commander slot. That is a 2. Sunset Saboteur as a 2 in the extended art. Ooh, it's a Mythic Galaxy foil. Oh! Wow. Okay. That is not just a Mythic Galaxy foil Stellar Sight. That is a Mythic foil Stellar Sight Galaxy Ancient Tomb. That is a sheesh. Holy moly. Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit jealous right now. That is amazing. All right, we'll sleeve that up here in a second. Oh my gosh. Get out of town. Red Leader. Red Leader. That is a Fracture Foil Ice Till Explorer. Wow. It is in the Japanese. If we had a small gripe there, it's in the Japanese language instead of the English. But honestly, I don't think we have any complaints about this pack. This video's over. Turning it off. No one sees any of this. Not to be made available for the public. Oh my goodness with this pack. This is going to be a longer video because I'm just going to babble on because I am stunned. That is so good. Okay. I suppose we have a battle to carry on with. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. Who cares? Win or lose, you've won. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's a 12. Oh my goodness. I don't like when you have a decision of Fracture Foil or I don't think there's a decision for me, but a Galaxy Foil Ancient Tomb or a Fracture Foil and you have to put one of those under the other. It actually kind of feels bad. All right. Justin. Wow. This freaking box. Goodness gracious. I thought the last box was really good. Okay, Galaxy Foil Plains, neat. Sacred Foundry, we don't dislike Shocklands. We like those. Pack Foil Sacred Foundry, followed by a Long Range Censor. Loading Zone, I rather like this card. Extended Art Loading Zone, it's a 4. Followed by a Blast Zone as the Stellar Sights foil, not Galaxy Foil, but a foil nonetheless. Pretty cool. And then we conclude with a Lumen class frigate. Yes, frigate way. Yeah, all right. I actually do like the frigate. I just want to say that word one more time. That's a 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that will do it there. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 it is. God, that's so insane. That's so insane. I can't believe I have to stare at that all battle and just not be jealous. All right, well, after the first round, Future with a 17 in the high. That was a very high pack, and it stayed that way. Angie in the low with a 7. Red Leader with a 12. Justin with a 9. Here we go. Round 2. And this box is already absolutely bonkers. Fracture Foil and a Galaxy Foil Ancient Tomb in the same pack is insanity. All right, Future, you have the high right now. All right, we have a Plains, not Galaxy Foil. Terra Symbiosis, pretty cool card as well. That is a 3, pack foil Terra Symbiosis. Followed by, hey, Zarel, Genesis Shepherd as a Jund Commander. So we have a Mythic out of that Commander slot. Pretty cool, that's a 5. Followed by a Synthesizer Lab Ship, that is a 1. How about you get a second Cathedral of War, this time in the non-foil. And then conclude with a 0-point Ballad, which is also a 1. Well, kind of reverses the low trend at the end, although the Zarel does help the mana value. Okay, what do we got going on here? We have ourselves a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 it is. Future, I will say that actually still is a pretty healthy lead at this moment. It's not game over, but it is still healthy. Okay, Angie, you had the low with the 7. Justin's kind of hot on your trail. He had a 9. You are the proud owner of a Galaxy Foil Swamp. Pack foil rare is Manamanan. I know that's not how you say that, but you know it feels like it should just read that way. That's a 5 for mana value. Uthros Research Craft as the commander. That is a 3. Helia Guided by Light. That is also a 3. This is not a low mana value pack, by the way. Into Celestial Colonnade. This is a non-foil, but it is in the poster Stellar Sights art. That's cool. And then we conclude. Ooh, we got a mythic back here. Wow. There we go. So we got a Fracture foil and a regular Japanese foil showcase in the same box. This is Devastating Onslaught. That is a Japanese foil showcase in the English language, which from a value standpoint is certainly the preferred at this point in time. Not a bad hit there. Not bad at all. All right, what do we got going on for mana value? 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 5. That is a 12. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 it is. Brings you to a 19, and also a really nice hit to go along with your already borderless foil Sacred Foundry. This box keeps bringing it. Red Leader, you have a 12 right now, chasing the low by 15, or excuse me, the high by 15 or the low by 7. But regardless, everyone is looking around at you and is completely jealous of you at this moment in time. Okay. Here we go. There's a Galaxy Foil Island. That is a mythic. That is Quantum Riddler, which Quantum Riddler is catching some steam as well. That is a mythic pack foil Quantum Riddler. That is a 5 mana value and a pretty good card as well. Your run continues into a Vernal Fen, which is 0, followed by an Evendo in the Borderless. Oh my goodness! All right, that is the knockoff Gaia's Cradle, which is actually still a really good card because Gaia's Cradle is an insane card. So Evendo still a really good card. 0 mana value, but not upset. Celestial Colonnade, and then conclude with an Esteli Reclaimer, which is a 5. And you have an art card. All right, so let me sleeve up these mythics. Two also very good mythics. That's what those are. Seemingly, I mean, 3 no mana value cards. 5 plus 5, that is just a 10. That's pretty easy math. Hard for even me to screw up. All right. Brings you to a 22. Kind of sandwiching you in the middle as far as high and low is concerned. But again, I reiterate to you, you're doing just fine. Win or lose, you kind of won. All right, Justin. Justin, you were right behind Angie for the low coming into this round. Angie had a 12 spot, so you are chasing 10 for the low right now. Otherwise, you are way behind Future for the high. Here we go. Little mountain action. Is that your second mountain? Weird. Maybe, maybe not. Mutinous Massacre. That is a 7 mana value. That is a pack foil rare Mutinous Massacre. 7. Followed by an Evendo Brush Razor. That is a 3. Followed by Beyond the Quiet. This is no longer low mana value territory. That is a 5. That's actually a really cool art though. Borderless Beyond the Quiet. Followed by a Terrain Generator. That is a Stellar Sights foil rare. It does not appear to be Galaxy. And then conclude back here with a Consult the Star Charts, which is actually a pretty good card. You've extended art foil. Consult the Star Charts. Well, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17. Let me run that back here. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17 it is. Puts you at a 26. Actually puts you just one below the high. So you are right there with Future now after that pack. That's how that works. Okay, well, heading into the final round here. What has been another banger box of Edge of Eternities. Future in the high with a 27, ever so slight lead. Angie in the low with a 19. Red leader kind of right behind, above Angie, if you will, with a 22, and Justin with a 26. Here we go. Good luck, everyone. Okay, Future, you start off with an island. First rare or mythic is a rare. It is Emissary Escort. That is a 2, pack foil Emissary Escort. Followed by a Baloth Prime, which is a 4 from that commander slot. Might Form Harmonizer, pretty cool card as well. That is a 4/4 mana value. Rare is Endless Sands in the Stellar Sites. And then conclude with a Rust Harvester, which is a 1. This is going to get interesting. Hey, very cool. Sammy art card. Neat. Wildcat Captain. All right. Well, we have ourselves a 1 + 4, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 6, 10, 11. In this set, that is a reasonable mana value. Will it be enough to hold off Justin? Or Red Leader for that matter. Let's find out. Angie, you currently have the low with a 19. You would need, you are chasing Future by 18, 19 outright for the tie, or for the lead, excuse me, for the high. I don't think that's the direction you want to go. Here we go. Start off with a little forest. Rare is a Stellate Reclaimer. That is a 5. Well, maybe it is the direction you want to go. Okay, that's a 5. Followed by a Exploration Brood Ship from the commander slot. That is a 1. Followed by Sunstar Chaplain. That is a 2. Extended art. Rare is Needle Spires. Of course, a 0 there. And conclude with a Starwinder. That is a 7. That is a really cool looking card, though. Borderless foil Starwinder, and that is really neat looking. And this card absolutely destroyed me in one of my limited games. I didn't realize it was whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you draw that many cards and not like a card. The warp gives it a lot of flexibility. Otherwise, as a 7-drop, it just wouldn't like. But being able to warp it in when you know that you have board presence and you can actually get through for damage and draw a bunch of cards is pretty good. All right, well, let's check the mana value here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 7, 15 it is. It's going to bring you to a 34. The bad part is that will not be enough for the high, and that was a fairly high mana value pack for all things considered. So let's now see if it's enough to keep you in the low. Red Leader with a 22 already. You were chasing, you were the second next low. So now you're below Angie by 12, which means you want 11 or less. You win the low. Well, Justin is still behind you, but it would be looking very good for you for the low outright. I'll say it that way. All right, another forest, non-galaxy foil. First rare mythic. It is a rare. It is Halia, Guided by the Light. That is a 3. Into a Glittering Massif. That is a 0 for commander slot. Mythic is, oh boy. That is a Famished World Sire. That is a really cool mythic in the extended art. I'm not sure 8 mana value is what you wanted to see at this moment in time, though. Okay, really cool card. Gonna make things really interesting as well. Next up, you have Lumbering Falls from the the land slot, which is 0, of course. And conclude with a Sunstar Chaplain, which is a 2 in the extended art foil. Let me sleeve up the World Sire real quick. Five, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That will give you a 35, taking you out of the low, but I'm just going to say it to you as plainly as I possibly can. No one feels bad for you right now. Not a single person in this battle feels bad for you that you lost out on the low, and I hope you understand why. Justin. All right, Justin, here's the score. You're actually in a fairly decent position either way. You just need to pick a lane and pick it early. You are at 26. You're chasing Future for the high by 12, so 13 to win outright, or Angie for the low with 8, so a 7 to win outright, which we've seen packs that low before. That is not off the table. Here we go. That is a Galaxy Foil Swamp. Neat. Here we go. First rare mythic. It is a rare. It is a biotech specialist. That is a 2. Commander slot is Humidian Waste Waker. That is a 4. Into 0 Point Ballad, which is a 1, which is a 7. You know this next card is going to be a 0 mana value. Now the question is the last card a 0 mana value, or is the last card a 6 or higher? That's a mythic, though. It's a strip mine. Hey, that's not bad. It is a Stellar Sights mythic strip mine, non-foil, but still very cool. Here we go. It is an Arch Enemy's Charm, which is a borderless foil rare and a really sweet one, but I think that's going to mean the middle for you in terms of the battle. Gold stamped art card. Let's find out where we are. 3, 4, 8, 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 it is. Justin, that will leave you at a 36, which literally puts you right in the middle of Angie and Future for both the high and the low. Which means, wow, Future and Angie in back-to-back battles. I can't remember which finished with the high and which finished with the low. It might have been the same order, in fact. Angie in the low with a 34. Future in the high with a 38. Red leader. This is how close this was. Red leader with a 35 and Justin B with a 36, which means between the high and the low, there was a 4 mana value difference, and 2 people middled that with a 35 and a 36. Really good battle, and the box is insane. Justin kind of gets the short end. Like, a strip mine at the end is not the worst consolation prize. There's actually a few other cards in there, but when you look around the rest of this, I mean, one more time, like Galaxy Foil Ancient Tomb, Fracture Foil Ice Tiller, Evendo, Borderless Foil, another Japanese foil showcase, this time in the English version. Banger box. All right, Angie, you have the low, you have the honors. Here we go. Hey, Galaxy Foil Swamp. All right, Arch Enemy's Charm into a Glittering Massif. Entropic Battle Cruiser in the extended. Mythic is Lotus Field. Neat little bonus mythic action from the Stellar Sights slot with the Lotus Field. That is non-foil, but cool. A mythic nonetheless. And then conclude with a borderless foil Arch Enemy's Charm, which is a really cool looking art. And I think the card is actually pretty playable. I love the versatility of it. I think it's a really good charm. All right, Future. All right, Sea Chip Brewtender. That is a Galaxy Foil Mountain. A couple Galaxy Foils from the prize packs. Neat. Rare is, Anti-Causal Vestige. This card is really good. I like that card a lot. Surge Conductor. Rust Harvester in the Borderless. Lava Claw reaches around. And concludes with a Loading Zone in the Extended Art Foil, which is kind of neat. And then the art card back there. Not the worst couple of prize packs there. All right, there you go. Well, that is going to do it for me today. I hope you all enjoyed the video. The battle was really fun and a pretty spicy box again. Again, that's going to do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button for me. Hit the like button for me. By all means, drop me some comments. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks so much, everybody. and be well.